Good morning and welcome to my channel. I went to an antique mall and had all of 30 minutes before they closed the doors. But I picked up some really great things and I wanted to share the haul with you. So first things first, I found this book for $2. It has, I'm sure, has never been used. There's no bending on the spine or anything, but I'm not sure how I use that. But there's this beautiful, look at this, look at these. Look at how gorgeous this is. All these pictures in here. Imagine how that can be used in a vintage journal. Imagine the postcards you could make with it. Just about every page. In fact, I think every page does have something. And I thought that was just so cool. I mean, look at that. Beautiful, right? So, it's a book about touring or going on a voyage or something. So, there are a lot of pictures. She's beautiful. But I thought this would be super... You saw my last video, I've decided I say the word super too much. I'm sorry. It would be so great in a journal. Oh, looks sad. But that, look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? Gorgeous, gorgeous color. I would never make it in that era, I think. I'm way too much of a jeans girl. But beautiful. Anyway, so that's that book. Plus, of course, you have the cover, which is gorgeous. It's hard. It's solid. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. It's like a brand new book. And while I'm not a fan of this design, I like that. So I'd probably, okay, now I'm thinking too much, aloud too much. But again, we all have a grand tour in our life. We journal about it. That's what they're all about. So I thought the title was appropriate too. Then I have a collection of buttons and postcards and things that I got. Woohoo, they're being sneaky and upside down. But I found some very old buttons. These only cost me, I think they were 50% off. So they were like $1.25. Let's do the buttons first, shall we? Look at that, isn't that cool? I think they're cool. Yeah, something broke. Well, anyway, but the buttons are neat. And I like this one a lot too because, I mean, it has some different beveling on the edge there. So can you see that? For $1. That's sort of a mother of pearl look to it. These are all $1. This has that sort of fine pink patina. When we were kids, my older brother swallowed a giant pink button. And it started out like this color and ended up, you know, this middle color. And the only reason I know that is because my mother saved it and put it in his baby book. And I always wondered about it, but wouldn't dare touch it, you know. Then there's this set of yellow. I thought this was really pretty too and different. It's got this, can you hear that? The texture on it's just really, really great. I like that. And then these super shiny ones. They almost look too new to be, I don't know, maybe the center of a flower. They caught my eye and I just couldn't put them down, so I picked them up. Or maybe even just in the book with a tag and some lace on top there or something, but that says $1, so I didn't really want to do that. Okay, enough of that. Then the postcards. I usually try to find postcards with words on the back because I personally like to read other people's letters and see what their story is. This was tucked in with the postcards I got for 25 cents. And I don't know. I mean, it's 25 cents, right? So it's cute. She's just on her way somewhere with her little mink stole. It's an era. I don't know how I feel about this picture, honestly. Okay, so I'll put that away. But then I found this postcard. And I have this idea about using famous works of art. I think Nick the Booksmith is doing, she did one with, not Rembrandt. She loves Van Gogh, she said. Anyway, she did something with one of them, one of the classic artists. And I thought how cool it would be to do a series where you have per journal, you have like Michelangelo, and oh, that was it, Michelangelo. You do Michelangelo, then you do Da Vinci, then you do Botticelli, and you just do one type of style of one Renaissance artist after another, and then you would have their original artworks in there for tagging and pictures, and maybe faded into the background or something. You could use even like texture paste, some sort of thing that looks like a column. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud now, but that would be something that I would really enjoy and I would really get into, and I'm sure my daughter would too, because she's an artist and really likes that. But they weren't cheap. I feel like I paid more this time for postcards than I ever have, and it bums me out a little bit, but oh well. This wasn't great quality, but I liked her. She was pretty. It's a postcard. I can scan her in, and maybe do some points of color somewhere, maybe stickle something. I don't know. I don't want to mess her up. I'd have to think about that, but she's pretty. I like her. Then I found this, and the reason I got this one is because there's words on the back. Yeah, I know. Very particular. And it was $2. So, because I'm a cheap girl. But, it was just kind of fun to sort of read this and say, it's hard to read through the camera. Mrs. is it Booker? Brooker. Proper. Okay, so I had to read it outside the camera. Yeah, proper. Received your card and letter. All okay, and was very glad to get them. I will write a letter to you soon. Will not wait as long as I did before. I will be more prompt in answering your sincere friend, Loretta. We all send our love to you. But anyway, I just thought that was sweet. And here's a handsome gent, so I had to pick him up. He was a good-looking dude, right? Good-looking dude, even with the broken neck collar he's wearing. Boy, I don't understand that style at all. But okay, so maybe, he was in a horse and buggy accident. I don't know. Anyway, just kidding. I know that's style. I know I'm not that stupid. Okay, so that was kind of fun. Arnold de Beaufort. Huh, that's cool. And then I got these ladies. I don't know what it was. Maybe because they're crafting and I was feeling it. I don't know. They really stood out to me, but particularly this young lady with her engaging expression. I don't know what it is about her eyes. She's a little bit wall-eyed, I think. But she's just looking straight at the camera. And she's kind of amused. There's something about that expression I really like. Plus, look at that. Oops. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? What she's working on. Okay, crafting ladies. Those are our ancestors. I guess that's the best way to put it. Those are our ancestors. All right, and finally, I picked up some handkerchiefs for the same reason I pick up fabric, so I can use them in crafts. But I got to thinking about something. GTD Designs Renee had found a piece of fabric, and she was talking about how it was a colorful little cross stitch, and you could cut it out and sew it into a piece of paper or into the journal. And I had never thought about that. I thought that was a great idea. But then I also heard from somebody who got an idea off Junk Journal Junkies that you could photocopy lace. And I thought, well, what if I photocopied this? Look how pretty that is. I could photocopy that and then use it like in the corner. If I photocopied it and then moved it to a corner of a page. But anyway, look at that. Isn't that pretty? And certainly I could cut it up. I might, but I really like that. I think that's just lovely. Somebody spent a lot of time on that. So there's that one. And here's another kerchief. Makes me think of stingrays. I don't think that was the intention. Okay, but there's that, and they're already aged. There's this one, which I just thought was beautiful. I hadn't seen this before, but I like the color. And then somebody had gone and done some crocheting down here. Imprinted pure linen. So, I mean, that's just really pretty. Okay. But you could photocopy that too. You could photocopy any of these. Here's a butterfly. I love that. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, I could photocopy it, or I could scan it, or I could cut it out and use it. But either way, I mean, however I do it, wow. I mean, it's got to be saved somehow. I've got to scan it in somehow, because these are just beautiful. And I think that even after I use the fabric, I want to keep coming back to these designs. They're pretty. But, you know, $5. That was a lot. So I better get my use out of it. Found this one. Little less impressed with it. I think probably the seller was too, because that one's only $3.95. But again, old fabric. Love the old fabric. And then finally, I have this one, which is sort of a beautiful sagey green. I know, Renee, you would like that because you talk about loving the color green so much, but I'm sure you would love that. But look at that. Isn't that pretty? And this one looks like it's printed right on, so it's not any special sewing or anything. But I did only get it for $3. There are a couple in here. This one, did I get for $2? Yeah, $2 on this one. That's crazy. 2 on this one? Yep, 2 on this one. And it's gorgeous. That's insane. So anyway, that was my haul at the Antique Mall off Collins Road in Arlington, Texas. So if you ever get over there, it's enormous and so much fun to wander. But do take a look. Some prices are crazy. Some are very good. And you really just have to kind of wander and find what you're looking for. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more like it. I'm happy to show you the haul videos because at this point that's what my collection is made out of. I can't really afford to go and buy kits, so I have to kind of make my own. But you know, the kits aren't that expensive, but it's the process of the ink I'm finding is way more expensive than I thought it would be. And I don't know if that's just me or my printer, even though I have a great brand new printer that apparently prints very, very well. I just don't want to be spending a bunch of money on ink and then waiting and then having to pull it together and finish, you know, 5 pages of print a day and then wait till the next day to print 5 more when I could just be working. And I think this is way more fun. So I'm still thinking about whether or not I want to create an Etsy store. If you like the idea, please comment below. Just let me know what kinds of things you would like to see in a kit. I'm thinking maybe what I'll do is once I've worked through some of these things that for my own kits, my own journals that I want to make and start posting on Etsy, I'm thinking what I'll do is probably create journaling kits with the ephemera pieces that I find, the papers, the stationaries that I find, maybe even some tea dye or coffee dyed paper. I'm not, you know, terribly good with that yet, but we'll see. Just let me know what you're interested in seeing. I have to give shout out to Renee. Renee, I have to give you all the credit because you just inspire me. I see what you do and it just inspires me to craft more and to open up, you know, opportunities for other people like me with a limited budget who might also want to try their hand at something without spending a fortune. So thank you very much, Renee, for being that inspiration. People check out her shop on Etsy. It's GTD Designs. Renee runs that shop and she has all kinds of really awesome finds, vintage stuff, always reusing products so that she's never buying new if she doesn't have to. But I just really respect that and you know, being able to repurpose something and give it a new life. Thank you so much for everything. She also has a YouTube channel, so I would recommend going to follow it. I will link it down below. Again, if you like this, please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see, if you'd like to see more, less, what you'd like to see in a kit. If I say the word super too much, feel free to comment about that too. I'm a pretty laid back person. I don't take offense easily, so have fun. But please don't be mean. Don't be mean to me just because I don't take offense easily. I don't like that either. But be respectful of other people and their crafts too, and I'm just going to quit lecturing. All right, you have a wonderful day. Thank you for showing up. Bye.